think it'd be interesting to hear a little bit about your particular personal journey. So you're a high-end leader in the clean energy technology sector. How do you get from, say, coming from Pittsburgh, thank you very much for beating the Jets, by the way, and finding your way here to New England, Central Massachusetts, Boston area, and making all that happen for yourself? Because I think that, some of our audience is going to be interested in possibly getting involved in this sector. So how did it happen for you, and what were your drivers?
Right. Well, the drivers really, I think, come back to having a compass inside. Each individual has a compass inside them. And I think it takes being the father of a college-age student right at this point in time. I spent a lot of time thinking about and trying to convey to him the direction in life and how you make choices in terms of pursuing those directions. I've been up in New England since 1986 or thereabouts, after having spent 4 years in the Navy as an officer on a surface warship. But throughout that professional career, I've been very interested in environmental issues, sustainability issues, energy improvements, and so on. But again, I've been involved across my career in a variety of different industries, including consumer electronics and aircraft engines, as well as biotech, being involved in a startup in biotech. One of the consistent aspects of my career has been that there's always been technology development within the work that I've been doing throughout my professional career. So those that are at the formative stages of their career, I think you want to look at functionally, how do I want to contribute? Do I want to contribute in a functional role in research or development or a management role? Do I want to be an individual contributor? Do I want to be a scientist or a manager? And then you pick specialties in which you want to acquire the necessary information to be successful within those particular areas. And you can do that in a variety of different ways, through participation in groups within the school environment, within the community environment. And what I mean by that, it might be within the Worcester area. The WPI Venture Forum, for instance, is one particular way of getting people together on a regular basis and talking about what's going on in the technology development community, looking at opportunities that are developing there. And you use those opportunities to meet new people, find out what's going on within the business community, and participate. Everyone is always willing to help, certainly folks that are interested in getting involved in crossing from one industry to another. And the main thing you need to do is speak up and have an idea of where your vision is, convey that to others, and then be persistent about it.
You mentioned energy efficiency being a driver right now, especially in with regards to the clean technology behind all that. Having degrees as an opportunity spot, but a lot of us, that particular message or that sector seems to be getting crowded out, if you will, in terms of the background noise with offshore wind. We hear a lot about tape wind. One of the things that Massachusetts has as a catalyst, I guess, in this sector is a training or testing facility, down in the New Bedford area for wind turbines. What's your perspective on the whole wind opportunity, onshore, offshore? Is it live? Is it too expensive? It's heavily reliant on subsidies, and maybe you can tie that in and how that plays into the smart grid and the need for energy efficiency technology.
Well, I think that's an example of where, or going back to your first point about the crowded nature of energy efficiency. That I think might be a result of the international momentum that has really been placed on energy efficiency based on the general acceptance about climate change and the human impact on climate change. So there's, I think, an international momentum that has caught hold now that didn't catch hold 30 or 40 years ago. And I see that as very good for the industry as a whole, In general, when you're in a research mode, and many of these energy efficiency technologies might be in a research mode, you're not going to have 100% success moving from basic research to applied research to commercialization. So the fact that there's a lot of activity in energy efficiency means that in the next few years, 5 or 10 years, there'll be consolidation of the best ideas of energy efficiency within that marketplace. And as I mentioned earlier, having those improvements in energy efficiency then coming to light while we're making investments in step change or different types of energy production, such as wind, is going to be very beneficial, because that'll be the Band-Aid that helps get us to a clean economy. Now, with regard to onshore wind and offshore wind, I think from a existence value, all these scenic vistas, whether it's having the wind turbines off of Cape Cod, there's a lot of pushback in terms of preserving those scenic vistas, and that is certainly a viable position for some to have. But as you look as our population continues to grow, as the demands on energy more than likely continue to grow, and the need for us to take action in terms of climate change and in general weaning ourselves off of foreign oil, then I think it makes sense to consider the variety of different opportunities: offshore wind, onshore wind. One of the things that we hear a lot about today with onshore wind is the not in my backyard. There's beginning to be a little bit of pushback. Towns are taking a position in terms of putting bylaws in place, whether it's because of flicker or the noise that is generated by a wind turbine. Some find it soothing, others find it very annoying. So I think we're going to go through this as we should in a democracy, a discussion at the local level, at the community level, about siting turbines, and perhaps this will be a motivating force to help alleviate some of the problems that the communities that are installing these systems find to be a problem. Then from there, just imagine the amount of infrastructure that is necessary, going to be necessary really, to bridge where our old electrical distribution system is to the distribution system of tomorrow. And whether or not that's incremental change or really a step change for bringing those efficiencies to bear through some of the smart grid technology, I think that's where the intersection comes through with generation, the new generation possibilities, and then where's the distribution, an efficient distribution system that gets this new clean energy to the users.
Yes, he said something very important, which is that the need for energy, electricity, is going to continue to grow on a global basis, domestically as well, and the constraints for fossil fuel-based energy generation are also growing in magnitude. So the need for solutions is imperative. For those that don't know, the only term of the trade that I think was mentioned was flicker, and flicker is exactly what it sounds like and what you think it is. It's the spinning of the turbines, and it creates a shadow, and boom, boom, boom. Generally speaking, I'm not a technician, but in any respect, flicker is not as big a problem because the sun and earth, the earth moves so quick, so that the sun coming in onto the turbines isn't necessarily a steady thing. You wouldn't be a constant for, say, I don't know, 20 minutes in a row. But generally, you also position the turbine so it doesn't have that great an impact. But that's a whole different issue, and I'm getting it above my head on the technology and siting sides of things. This was a terrific opportunity to speak with you. Thank you very much. I'm pleased to have you as
Great to be here.
Thank you. In Speaking Sustainability, if I'm going to take some liberty here, but if any of our viewers want to contact Mike, you can contact IES, and we'll put you in touch, and you continue the conversation that way. Thank you for watching. I hope you agree there's certainly an awful lot of opportunity here. It's a lot of information to take in. The good news is, despite you guys like Mike and myself that have been doing this for over a decade or so, it's just starting. So the opportunity, the thrill, the passion, and the fun of it all is certainly starting to come up to speed, and it's not too late to get involved in this sector if it's something you're interested in. So with that, thank you, and I encourage your continued participation in the clean energy technology sector, your interest, and hopefully with the Institute for Energy and Sustainability.